If you guys didn't know already, there is a screenshot of OnlyJayus saying the N-word. A bunch of pressure was put on me and a bunch of...
Before the controversies, before the cancellations, before the complete fall off, OnlyJayus was everywhere. Back in 2019, TikTok was still in its early stages of becoming a global powerhouse, and among the creators leading that first real wave of viral content was OnlyJayus. Her niche? Fast-paced life hacks and psychology facts. Her style? Confident, clear, and borderline addictive. She'd hit you with scientific trivia, mental tricks, and quirky experiments, all wrapped in a way that made you stop scrolling. And it worked. Within a year, her follower count exploded. We're talking millions of followers, not thousands, millions. Her videos were doing serious numbers, some hitting 10 to 20 million views like it was nothing. And she wasn't just pulling views, she was building a brand. People weren't just watching her for entertainment, they were learning something. That made her feel different, smarter, like the cool nerdy friend on your feed who always had a fun fact locked and loaded. At the height of her popularity, OnlyJayus was one of the most recognizable creators on the platform. She even started popping up outside of TikTok. Brand deals, interviews, collabs. The algorithm loved her, and so did the audience. But here's the thing about viral fame. It's fragile. One wrong move, and the same internet that built you up can take you out overnight. And for OnlyJayus, that moment came faster and darker than anyone expected. This is where everything started to fall apart. At the peak of her career, while riding high on fame and algorithm boosts, something surfaced that would flip her entire reputation upside down. Private messages. Not just any messages. Leaked DMs where OnlyJayus was seen using the N-word. Hard R. No context that could save it. No explanation that made it okay. At first, when the screenshots hit the internet, she denied everything. Claimed they were photoshopped, fake, that someone was out to ruin her. But the internet doesn't play games with receipts. The person who leaked the messages backed them up with proof, and once that evidence dropped, it was over. The narrative was no longer in her control. The screenshots were real, and the backlash immediate. We're talking hundreds of videos, call-outs from fellow creators, hashtags trending, stitches and duets obliterating her image. And just when things couldn't get worse, a petition started gaining traction to ban her from TikTok. Not just a few angry commenters, but nearly 500,000 signatures demanding she be deplatformed. That kind of outrage, that's not your average Twitter apology and move on situation. She eventually posted an apology, a teary-eyed edited video addressing the situation. But for many, it was too little too late. People weren't buying it. The apology felt more like damage control than genuine remorse, especially when she initially tried to lie about it being fake. And then it got worse. More creators came forward accusing her of stealing their content, copying word-for-word scripts, ideas, formats. Suddenly the whole OnlyJayus is a genius creator image started crumbling fast. It wasn't just a mistake. It was a pattern. And just like that, the internet, which once championed her as a rising star, collectively turned its back. Fast forward a few years, the dust from the scandal had somewhat settled. OnlyJayus had gone quiet, barely posting, barely engaging. It seemed like she had disappeared entirely. But then she came back. And not with a full apology arc or a rebranding masterclass, nah. She just showed up out of nowhere with the nostalgic video, like, there's going to be two types of people watching this video. You either see my face and scroll, or you're like, wait, psychology girl? And honestly, it almost worked. Some people are like, oh, hey, I remember her. Others were like, nope, we're not doing this again. She admitted in that video that she had messed up and was sorry. But again, there wasn't much depth. It felt like a last-ditch attempt to win back the audience right before TikTok possibly got banned. Kind of like, hey, if this app disappears forever, let me clean my name real quick. But then something wild happened. A creator named Alex Byron popped up, and he made it his life mission to hold her accountable. Not in a petty way, but with actual receipts. One of the biggest being a blatant word-for-word content copy from one of his viral videos. Let me break this down. He makes a skit with a clever little story about slacking off at work and then going all out after a promotion opportunity. OnlyJayus posts the exact same thing. Same structure, same lines, practically the same pacing. And when people called her out, she didn't apologize. She doubled down. Inside her own Discord server, she brushed it off like it was some shared idea from Reddit, claimed they just happened to use the same source, called the whole thing silly.
That's when Alex Byron offered $10,000 to charity if she could show the original Reddit post. Guess what? She couldn't. Instead, she faked a screenshot to try and claim she had the source. Let me repeat that. She faked evidence over a TikTok. While already under fire for plagiarism and past racism, it was almost surreal at this point.
Oh, and the cherry on top? People dug up an old tweet from her that said, creators should be called out when they copy other creators word for word. Yeah, that didn't age well. After the plagiarism drama exploded, OnlyJayus basically vanished again. No uploads, no updates, radio silence. But then she came back yet again, this time with a completely different vibe. Gone were the psychology facts, fun skits, or quirky science girl energy. Instead, she pivoted hard into political content. And I mean hard. We're talking videos from downtown LA protests, footage of riots, controversial clips, intense commentary. Basically engagement bait designed to go viral by triggering outrage in the comments.
And to be fair, it did get engagement.
But not the kind you want. The views, barely breaking past 5 digits. The comments, a chaotic mix of, why is she posting this? Didn't she get canceled? What is this content even supposed to be? It felt like she was reaching for relevance, trying to stir up enough controversy to get the algorithm on her side. But the internet had pretty much moved on, and not in her favor. To make it worse, TikTok finally hit her with a community guideline strike, her first ever. She tried to play it off, posting a video like, I got my first TikTok strike ever in 2025. Why? I posted a protest at Pride. I don't know what I did wrong. But let's be real. The post used heavy language, tackled super sensitive topics, and leaned way into political tension. TikTok doesn't mess around with that combo.
The strike wasn't some mystery.
It was just the final symptom of a creator throwing everything at the wall, hoping something would stick. And spoiler, nothing did. The political rebrand fell completely flat. She went from being one of the most viral TikTok stars in the game to fighting for 10K views per video, all while the algorithm basically looked the other way. At the end of the day, OnlyJayus' downfall isn't just about getting canceled. It's a textbook case of what happens when a creator completely destroys their relationship with their audience. Let's break it down. When she first blew up, she had millions of fans. People loved the quirky, nerdy vibe. She was trusted, liked, and shared everywhere. But then, boom, N-word scandal. Instead of taking real accountability, she lied, deflected, and got exposed again. People started walking away. And just when things cooled down, plagiarism. Word for word copying of another creator's video, caught in 4K. Then, fake Reddit receipts. She literally faked screenshots to try and win a $10,000 challenge. Like, it just kept getting worse. At that point, her credibility wasn't just cracked, it was shattered. So, when she came back and tried to pivot into protest content and political commentary, no one cared. She didn't have a fan base anymore. Just a few stragglers and a whole lot of people waiting to call her out. Here's the truth. If you break trust with your audience, you're done. Doesn't matter how good your content is, doesn't matter how many followers you had. If people don't believe in you, you have nothing. Creators thrive off trust. Lose that, and all the views, sponsorships, and second chances dry up fast. It's sad, but also kind of deserved. You can't keep messing up, lying about it, and expect the internet to forget. The only real lesson here? Respect your audience. Own your mistakes. And don't fake Reddit posts for 10 grand. Anyway, that's the full breakdown of the OnlyJayus situation, from viral fame to controversy to what looks like a desperate rebrand. If you made it this far, you're a real one. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. We are officially on the road to 500 subscribers, and every single one of you helps push this channel forward. I've got a ton more deep dives, commentary, and internet drama breakdowns coming soon. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's next.